Ladies and gentlemen, silence is not weakness, it is wisdom wrapped in restraint. Too often we are tempted to respond to every criticism, every insult, every provocation. But let me ask you, what does it cost you to speak when silence would serve you better? Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of strength. It is the ability to control your emotions when others are losing theirs. It is choosing to be the thermostat, not the thermometer, setting the atmosphere, not reacting to it. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Not every fight deserves your energy. Sometimes the loudest statement you can make is the one you don't say. Why? Because silence allows you to see clearly while others reveal their intentions. When you speak less, you learn more. When you stay quiet, you gain insight. And when you refuse to react, you confuse those who expect chaos from you. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this: your silence is your strength. Let your peace disrupt their noise. Let your calm unravel their plans. Confuse them with your silence. Silence is often misunderstood. Many people see it as a sign of weakness, an inability to respond, or a lack of confidence. But in reality, silence is one of the greatest displays of strength. It takes far more courage to hold your tongue than to let loose words you might regret later. Silence is power under control, a sign of maturity that shows you understand the weight of words. Words are like seeds. Once spoken, they take root, and you cannot control the fruit they bear. That's why it is wise to think before you speak. Silence, on the other hand, gives you time to measure your thoughts, to ensure that what you say adds value and doesn't diminish your credibility. It is not about avoiding confrontation, but about choosing the right moment and the right words to bring clarity and resolution rather than chaos. When you choose silence, you demonstrate a confidence that speaks louder than words. People expect you to react. They expect you to retaliate when provoked. But when you don't, it throws them off balance. They don't know how to handle it because silence isn't what they're prepared for. It confuses them because they mistake a lack of words for a lack of strength. But you know better. Silence says, I am in control. I do not need to prove myself to you. Silence also reveals wisdom. A wise person understands that not every situation requires a response. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Sometimes your silence can teach others more than your words ever could. It forces people to reflect on their actions, their words, and their intentions. When you refuse to engage in unnecessary conflict, you shift the focus back to the person trying to provoke you. In moments of silence, you gain clarity. You can see the situation for what it truly is, not through the lens of emotion or anger. Silence allows you to observe, to discern what's happening beneath the surface. It's in those quiet moments that you gain understanding and wisdom that others miss because they are too busy reacting. Silence is also a tool for protection. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your plans, or your emotions. Some battles are not worth fighting, and some people are not worth engaging. By remaining silent, you protect your peace and guard your purpose. You ensure that your energy is invested in what truly matters, not wasted on things that have no value. Remember, silence doesn't mean weakness. It means you're operating on a higher level. It takes strength to resist the urge to respond, to stay calm when others are losing control, and to remain composed in the face of provocation. Silence is not passive. It is active. It's a choice to rise above the noise, to refuse to stoop to the level of chaos, and to maintain your dignity in every situation. When you confuse them with your silence, you send a powerful message. You're telling the world that you don't need to explain yourself to everyone, that your worth is not determined by their opinions, and that your focus is on things far greater than petty arguments or momentary conflicts. You're showing them that your strength lies not in your ability to speak, but in your ability to listen, observe, and rise above. So when the temptation to respond is strong, remind yourself of this. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is strength in its purest form, Hold your tongue, steady your heart, and let your silence speak for you. Confuse them with your silence. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Life will present endless opportunities for conflict, but wisdom lies in choosing which battles are worth fighting. Not every invitation deserves a response, and not every disagreement requires your participation. There is strength in restraint, in knowing when to engage and when to walk away. Arguments often feed on energy. The more you engage, the more fuel you add to the fire. But when you refuse to participate, the fire burns out on its own. People who thrive on drama and conflict rely on your reaction to keep the cycle going. They provoke, they push, and they wait for you to respond. When you decline the invitation, you disrupt the pattern. You rob them of the satisfaction they seek. You get more pain and anger. Choosing not to attend every argument is not about avoiding confrontation. It's about prioritizing peace. There are times when a disagreement serves no purpose other than to drain your energy and distract you from your goals. Engaging in such arguments does not make you stronger or more justified. It simply pulls you into a space that serves no benefit to your growth. When you decline unnecessary arguments, you protect your focus. Your time and energy are precious resources, and they should be invested in things that add value to your life, not wasted on trivial matters. Arguments over small, inconsequential things only serve to derail your momentum and steal your peace. The ability to walk away from such conflicts shows maturity and self-awareness. It also shows emotional intelligence. People who are easily provoked are often seen as weak, while those who remain calm in the face of conflict demonstrate strength and control. Your refusal to engage is not a sign of indifference. It is a sign that you value your peace more than proving a point. It's about understanding that being right is not always as important as being at peace. But silence can be your most powerful response. There is no need to explain yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes, the most effective way to deal with conflict is to let your actions speak louder than your words. People will argue with your opinions, but they cannot argue with your results. Focus on what you're building and let your success be your response. There is also wisdom in knowing that some arguments are distractions. Not everyone who challenges you has your best interests at heart. Some people argue not to resolve, but to provoke, to pull you down to their level. Engaging with such people is a waste of time and a compromise of your integrity. When you refuse to argue, you maintain control over your emotions and the situation. Arguments often escalate when both parties are trying to prove a point, leading to hurtful words and damaged relationships. But when you step back and choose not to engage, you create space for clarity and understanding. You also set a powerful example for others, showing them that it is possible to rise above conflict without losing your composure. Declining an argument is not about conceding defeat. It is about understanding that not every battle is yours to fight. Wisdom is knowing the difference between what requires your attention and what doesn't. By walking away, you show that you are secure in yourself and your values. You don't need to prove anything to anyone because your worth is not determined by their opinions or provocations. When you choose your battles wisely, you reserve your strength for the moments that truly matter. You save your energy for the challenges that align with your purpose and contribute to your growth. Not every fight deserves your effort, and not every disagreement requires your voice. Knowing this and living by it will set you apart as a person of discipline, focus, and wisdom. So, the next time someone tries to draw you into an argument, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this add value to my life, or will it take away from my peace? If the answer is no, simply smile, step back, and move forward. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. To control your emotions is to master yourself. Emotional intelligence is one of the greatest tools you can possess, for it dictates how you respond to the world around you. Emotions are powerful forces, but when left unchecked, they can lead to reactions that are often regretful and destructive. It takes strength to choose not to react impulsively, to resist the urge to speak or act when your emotions are running high. But in those moments, your true power is revealed. Most people respond to the world based on how they feel in the moment. But those who understand the value of emotional control know that their emotions do not define them. When you allow emotions to control you, you give away your power. Your reactions are no longer your own. They are driven by external circumstances and temporary feelings. To remain calm when others are losing their composure, to keep a steady heart when emotions are running wild, that is a true display of strength. When you react impulsively, you lose clarity. The moment is clouded by emotional intensity and your judgment becomes impaired. But when you take control of your emotions, you gain perspective. You see things clearly and respond in a way that is both thoughtful and effective. Emotional control allows you to step back from the situation, to gain a broader understanding of what's happening, and to respond in a way that reflects your values and your purpose. One of the most important things to remember is that your emotions are not facts. They are temporary states, fleeting and often exaggerated. What you feel in one moment may not reflect the reality of the situation. The challenge lies in pausing long enough to assess whether your emotional response is rooted in truth or just a passing reaction. Emotional intelligence allows you to separate your feelings from the facts, enabling you to act with wisdom rather than be ruled by momentary impulses. Emotional control also gives you the ability to protect your peace. When you allow others to provoke you, when you engage in unnecessary conflict, you are giving away your peace. But when you choose to remain calm, when you choose not to react, you maintain your inner peace regardless of external circumstances. Your peace becomes an anchor, keeping you grounded even when everything around you is in turmoil. This is why emotional control is not just a personal strength. It is a protective mechanism that shields you from the chaos and drama that others may try to drag you into. It also demonstrates maturity. Children react without thinking. Adults choose their responses. Maturity is knowing that your feelings do not have to control you, that your actions are not determined by how you feel in the moment. It is the ability to pause, take a breath, and choose the response that aligns with your higher self. This is the power of emotional control, the ability to be deliberate, intentional, and focused, even in the most trying situations. Sometimes, emotional control is about setting boundaries. When others try to provoke you or push your buttons, it's important to recognize that you are in control of how you engage. You don't have to respond to every insult, every criticism, or every challenge. In fact, many of the battles worth fighting are fought in silence and the choice not to react. By holding your peace, you protect your emotional energy and keep it focused on things that truly matter. It is also about knowing when to step back and take a moment for yourself. There is wisdom in stepping away when your emotions are high, allowing yourself the space to calm down and regain perspective. Sometimes the best response is no response at all, allowing the situation to settle before making any decisions. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means acknowledging them, understanding them, and choosing how to respond in a way that serves you and your goals. Emotions in their rightful place are a source of strength. They can fuel passion, drive, and purpose. But when allowed to control us, they become destructive forces. The ability to manage them is a mark of true leadership, both in your own life and in the way you relate to others. By mastering your emotions, you gain control over your reactions, your actions, and your life. So the next time you feel the urge to react, pause and take control. Recognize that your emotional state does not have to dictate your behavior. Choose to respond with wisdom, not impulse. And in doing so, you'll not only protect your peace, you'll set an example for others to follow. Control your emotions and you control your destiny. Speaking less often gives you the opportunity to learn more, and learning is one of the greatest keys to personal growth. It's easy to think that we must always have something to say, that we must contribute to every conversation or situation. But in reality, the most powerful people are not necessarily the ones who speak the most. Rather, they are the ones who listen the most. Speaking less opens up the space for others to share, for you to observe, and for you to absorb valuable information that would otherwise pass you by. In every conversation, there are lessons waiting to be learned, but you can only absorb those lessons when you are willing to listen. Too often we speak just to fill the silence, to assert our presence, or to make ourselves heard. But by speaking less, we give others the chance to offer their perspectives, their insights, and their experiences. We create an environment where we are not just listeners, but also learners, allowing us to grow from the wisdom of those around us. Speaking less also means you are being more intentional with your words. When you speak, you know it is for a purpose, whether to offer value, clarify a point, or express something that matters. This intentionality creates greater impact as your words carry more weight when they are carefully chosen and thoughtfully delivered. When you speak less, your words are no longer casual or fleeting. They become meaningful. And people begin to listen more closely when you do choose to speak. Listening is an underrated skill that many overlook. We are often too eager to respond, to offer solutions, or to share our thoughts. But in doing so, we miss the full picture. Listening allows us to understand the underlying emotions, the unspoken needs, and the real issues at play. When we speak less and listen more, we show respect for others' viewpoints and create an environment of mutual understanding. Through this practice, we open ourselves to learning from others and gaining perspectives we might never have considered. In conversations, sometimes the most profound insights come not from the words spoken, but from the silences between them. In those quiet moments, we have the chance to reflect, to process, and to form a deeper understanding. Speaking less allows you to sit in those moments of stillness, to reflect on what has been said, and to weigh your response carefully. This practice of pausing, observing, and reflecting before speaking leads to more thoughtful and measured responses. It's a way of ensuring that what you say adds value rather than adding to the noise. Moreover, by speaking less, you give yourself the gift of time to think. The world moves fast, and we are often bombarded with information and opinions. But when you speak less, you create the space to process and to decide what is truly important. You allow yourself the opportunity to think critically, to reflect on what's truly necessary, and to make informed decisions. In this way, you become more deliberate in your actions and choices, responding from a place of clarity rather than reacting from impulse. The act of speaking less also allows you to observe the world more closely. People are always revealing things in their words, their body language, and even their silence. By speaking less, you open yourself to seeing and hearing things that others might overlook. You become more attuned to the subtle cues and signs that guide your understanding. In conversations, it's often the small details, the tone of voice, the expression on someone's face, or the pause before a response that can provide the most valuable insight. By stepping back and speaking less, you sharpen your ability to observe and understand the deeper truths in any situation. In addition to these benefits, speaking less also fosters a sense of humility. It's a practice in recognizing that sometimes others have more to offer than you do. Speaking less allows you to acknowledge your own limitations and opens you up to learning from others. It is an act of humility and openness, recognizing that wisdom is not solely found in your own voice, but in the voices of those around you. When you speak less, you also create more meaningful connections with others. People value someone who listens, who truly hears them and understands what they're saying. Speaking less allows you to focus on others, to engage in deeper, more meaningful conversations that go beyond surface-level interactions. By being present and listening, you build trust and rapport, and people begin to feel valued and understood. Ultimately speaking, less doesn't mean being silent all the time. It means being more selective with your words, more thoughtful with your contributions, and more open to learning from the world around you. When you choose to speak less, you increase your capacity to understand, to grow, and to connect with others. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember that there is power in silence. Allow yourself the space to listen and learn, and choose your words carefully. Speak less, and you will find that you not only hear more, but also gain more wisdom and understanding than you ever could by speaking constantly. When you speak less, you open yourself to greater knowledge and deeper connections. When you remain silent, you open the door to deeper understanding and greater clarity, while also forcing others to reveal their true intentions. Silence is a powerful tool of discernment. It allows you to step back from the noise and observe the situation from a place of calm. When you speak, your words may offer a glimpse into your thoughts, but silence exposes the hidden truths of those around you. It forces them to reveal themselves not through their words, but through their actions and responses. People are often driven by motives they may not openly share. They may project a certain image, say the right things, or wear a mask that hides their true intentions. But when you choose silence, you create a space where the facade crumbles. You no longer offer a reaction that can be manipulated or used against you. Instead, you allow others to show you who they truly are. By staying silent, you provide others with the opportunity to fill the gaps with their words, but those words often reveal much more than they intend. A person who is trying to deceive you may struggle when they realize they aren't getting the reaction they expected. Their discomfort, their contradictions, and their inconsistencies become more apparent when you don't give them a platform to manipulate your emotions. Silence acts like a mirror, reflecting the hidden motives and intentions of others. In situations of conflict or tension, silence has a way of unraveling hidden agendas. When you engage in a back and forth, you may get caught up in defending yourself, arguing points, or responding to insults. But when you remain silent, you allow the other person to continue without interference. In doing so, their true character emerges. They may try to provoke further, but when they realize that tactics aren't working, they often reveal their true nature. Silence also exposes the insecurity of others. Some individuals rely on loud words and aggressive behavior to assert themselves, believing that volume and intensity will win the day. But when you don't respond in kind, you create a contrast that reveals the weakness in their approach. They may become more agitated, more desperate to elicit a response from you. This agitation exposes their inability to maintain composure, and their vulnerability becomes evident. Remaining silent is a strategic way of protecting your peace. You don't waste energy on unnecessary conflict or futile attempts to change someone's mind. Instead, you allow the situation to unfold naturally, which often leads to a clearer understanding of where people stand. This clarity helps you make informed decisions about who is worthy of your time and energy. You can discern who is sincere, who has your best interests at heart, and who is simply looking to manipulate or control. Sometimes, silence forces others to confront their own contradictions. When you choose not to engage, they are left to face the truth of their own behavior without the distraction of a response. In this space, they may begin to see the flaws in their arguments, the holes in their logic, or the inconsistency in their actions. Silence is often the catalyst for self-reflection, both for you and for those around you. It strips away the external noise and reveals what's beneath the surface. In relationships, silence is a powerful tool for understanding. When we speak too much, we can dominate the conversation, often without truly listening to the other person. But when we choose silence, we allow the other person to express themselves fully without interruption. In these moments, we can hear not just the words, but the emotions and intentions behind them. We learn more about the person we're interacting with, what they value, what motivates them, and what their true desires are. Silence, you uncover the layers of a situation or a person, providing insights that you would miss if you were too quick to respond. When you are patient and quiet, you gather information, you see the nuances, and you make decisions with a deeper understanding. You no longer rely on surface-level judgments or snap decisions. You've allowed time for the truth to emerge. It's in silence that you gain clarity about your own feelings as well. When you speak without thinking, your emotions may guide your words, when your words may not reflect your true intentions. But when you take the time to be silent, you give yourself the space to process your thoughts and emotions. This space allows you to respond from a place of clarity and intentionality rather than being driven by a momentary reaction. Silence helps you hear your own voice more clearly and discern what you truly want to say. Sometimes, the most powerful response you can give is the one you don't give at all. Silence doesn't mean submission or silence in the face of injustice. It means that you understand the value of your energy and you choose to use it wisely. It's not about avoiding conflict, but knowing that engaging in every argument or responding to every slight only drains you of your resources. Instead, Silence reveals where your attention should be focused, where your energy should be spent, and who is truly worthy of your time and emotional investment. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this: your silence is not passive. It is active, strategic, and powerful. It forces others to reveal their true intentions, their motives, and their character. And in doing so, it allows you to protect your peace, to see clearly, and to make decisions that align with your highest purpose. Silence exposes what words often hide. Remaining silent allows you to hold your power. The act of silence is not a weakness or submission. Rather, it is a strategic choice to reserve your energy for moments that truly matter. There is incredible strength in choosing when to speak and when to remain quiet. Too often, we are conditioned to believe that silence equates to passivity or indecision. But in truth, silence is a form of self-control that enables you to stay centered and in control of your emotions, your reactions, and your interactions with the world. By staying silent, you are not giving away your power, you are protecting it. When you speak impulsively or engage in every argument, you allow external circumstances to dictate your emotions. Your words are no longer your own, but are instead a reaction to the situation. In contrast, silence allows you to maintain control over your own responses. It gives you the space to think, to reflect, and to respond with intention, rather than being swept up in the heat of the moment. In this way, silence becomes a shield that guards your inner peace and your emotional state. There is also power in choosing not to speak in situations where others expect a response. People often seek validation or a reaction, especially when they are trying to provoke you. When you withhold your response, you disrupt their expectations. You stop playing into their game, and in doing so, you retain control over the situation. By not reacting immediately or defensively, you prevent the conversation from escalating and prevent the other person from having the upper hand. Silence also protects you from being misunderstood or misrepresented. The more you speak, the more you expose yourself to potential distortion. Words, once spoken, can be taken out of context or manipulated, but silence gives you a space to keep your thoughts to yourself and to guard your integrity. Not every thought needs to be shared, and not every situation demands a verbal response. In choosing silence, you preserve your authenticity and avoid unnecessary complications. Furthermore, silence allows you to observe and assess the situation from a place of neutrality. It gives you the time to take a step back and evaluate what is really happening, rather than reacting based on emotion or impulse. In moments of silence, you gain clarity. You are not distracted by the noise or chaos around you, and you can make decisions with a clearer mind. This discernment allows you to protect your peace and ensure that your actions align with your values. There is a deep wisdom in silence. It enables you to understand situations on a deeper level. Often when we are in the midst of an argument or a heated conversation, we become fixated on our own perspective and fail to see the broader picture. Silence allows us to listen, to reflect, and to truly understand what is being said and what is not being said. It opens the door to greater insight, helping you to perceive the truth beneath the surface and to make informed decisions. The silence also conveys confidence and strength. In a world where everyone feels the need to be heard and to assert their opinion, silenceisspeaking is a bold statement. It says that you are secure in who you are, that you do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You understand that your worth is not determined by the volume of your voice, but by the strength of your character and the depth of your wisdom. By choosing silence, you show that you are not easily swayed by external forces or the need for validation. Your power lies in your ability to remain composed and to respond only when it serves your greater purpose. Moreover, silence allows you to conserve your energy for what truly matters. Every word you speak requires energy, and when you engage in unnecessary conversations or arguments, you deplete your resources. Silence helps you preserve that energy, allowing you to focus on what is most important in your life, your goals, your relationships, and your personal growth. It helps you avoid distractions that would take you off course and prevents you from wasting time on matters that do not align with your vision. In choosing silence, you also set a powerful example for others. People are often drawn to those who remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. By demonstrating self-control through silence, you inspire others to do the same. You show them that it is possible to maintain peace and power without succumbing to the pressures of the world. Your example encourages others to find strength in their own silence, to trust that they too can hold their power in any situation. Ultimately, silence allows you to create space for what truly matters. It gives you the ability to listen, to reflect, and to act with intention. It helps you protect your peace, conserve your energy, and maintain control over your emotions. Silence is not a sign of weakness, but a manifestation of strength. It is the power of choosing not to engage in every battle, not to react impulsively, and to remain steadfast in your beliefs and values. When you hold your silence, you hold your power. In silence, you find the strength to preserve your energy, protect your peace, and control your destiny. In conclusion, silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is a powerful tool that allows you to control your emotions, protect your peace, gain clarity, and observe the true intentions of others. It is through silence that we learn to respond with wisdom, not impulse, and to conserve our energy for what truly matters. By mastering the art of silence, we unlock our inner strength, gain greater understanding, and navigate the complexities of life with confidence and grace. Remember, your silence is a choice, is the strength to not engage in every conflict, the wisdom to listen before speaking, and the discipline to hold your power in the most challenging situations. As you embrace silence, you empower yourself to live with intention, make thoughtful decisions, and build meaningful relationships. Thank you for your time and attention today. May you carry the power of silence with you in every moment of your life, and may it guide you toward greater clarity, peace, and success. Good luck on your journey, and may you continue to rise in strength and wisdom.